Some of my pieces I make primarily as abstract art pieces that go into welded frames that I design for a talented welder, and they are hung like paintings or they're put in welded stands to look like a three-dimensional sculptural piece. I began to pursue art in high school and very early in college got involved in glass blowing. I fell in love with working with molten glass at that time and continued with glass blowing after college when I decided to bury all of my art in a closet while I went to medical school and did a long residency and have been in practice as an anesthesiologist for the last 13 years. And thus, at this time, I am trying to be a part-time doctor and a part-time glass fuser, and so both of them are now my careers. If I had to choose a music that describes the process of my glass fusing, it would be most certainly jazz. It is similar in its spontaneity, and the unplanned part of my work seems to work with how fluid jazz is as a music medium. I do not come into the studio with a preconceived design or idea. So whatever happens, happens as I cut the glass and do my pieces. So it is very stream of consciousness and flowing and unplanned. And so that process is almost like a meditative process for me, where it just comes out, and whatever comes out gets put into the kiln. I don't do a lot of redoing and remaking. It's very abstract and spontaneous. The way my art came back to me after being in the medical field and burying my art for so long is that it was a complete busting out of the closet. It was a sort of survival issue that came up for me, that I needed an outlet to express what doing something so rigid and so focused and so narrow had created for me inside for so many years. And this going back to glass was an imperative. I think that what happens for aspiring artists is that there's nobody saying you can do this. And I think that banks will back somebody to go to med school or law school, but nobody will say, go for it, you know, get a studio and go do your art. So my words to the wise are to not bury it in a closet, to find a way to make it happen, even if it's part-time.